Hey, what's up? What's going on? This is Ace All Freedom, and you're listening to the Ace All Freedom Media. Yes. Let me just get right to it. The big news for the past couple of days is the Walter Scott shooting. At least on the mainstream media. I think a lot of people have saw the video where a cop is struggling with another man, and he's the guy Walter Scott runs away, and the cop is shooting at him 8 times. The guy falls to the ground. The cop goes over to Walter Scott. The cop's name is Michael Slager. He walks over to Walter Scott, tells him to put his hands behind his back. He arrests him. He handcuffs him. The video shows Michael Slager running back to pick up something, and then he runs back to Walter Scott, who's still lying on the floor. And at that time, another cop comes and checks to see if he's alive, and I'm sure everybody has seen this made national headlines. This happened in South Carolina. I believe in the city of Charleston. And I looked at the video several times. And the only reason why I knew about it is because, I checked on my Twitter, and, there was a couple of people making a big uproar. Now, immediately, I'm like, here we go again with another shooting of an unarmed man getting shot by another cop. Here we go again. I'm very skeptical of these events only because I know that the mainstream media is all about, propaganda and, basically the whole divide and conquer role that they play in order to, get people to talk about and, get mad at other people, other races and whatever. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of other stuff going on in the world that's way more important than what they're spewing out. And so, knowing that, I immediately became skeptical, and I wanted to see what's up this time. And so I checked out the video several times, and one of the first things I noticed was there was no blood. There was no blood coming from Walter Scott. There were no bullet holes in his shirt. There was another cop that came by, and she didn't have any blood on her gloves. She had on these blue gloves. There's no blood on the gloves. Michael Slager also came by, and I don't think he touched him. I think he did. There's no blood. Period. When Michael Slager was shooting him, there were no impact shots also. And Michael Slager, and correct me if I'm wrong, but, when people get shot in the back, they're kind of lunging toward their back, like they're pushed forward, and, their hand is going on toward their back because they've been shot there. According to the articles and the reports, he was shot at 8 times, and 4 bullets hit him, and with one hitting him in the ear. I don't know if it's left or right. And two of those bullets that hit him in the back, they were the fatal ones, supposedly. And I didn't see any bullet holes, blood, no impact shots. His reaction didn't add up to any other people who get shot in the back, and he just kind of ran. And I also found it funny that the witness taped it right before everything went down. Right before everything went down, which I was like, I guess it could happen. You could be right on time. But it was just too perfect. And there was supposedly a struggle before the witness started taping. I didn't hear any screams from these guys or anything like that. And another thing I wanted to point out was the fact that the cop, to me, I don't even think Michael Slager was shooting at the dude. There was a path toward, in the park. There was a path where you could enter probably or exit from. And he seemed to be shooting toward that path, and Walter Scott was on an angle running. And then I think he kind of moved toward shooting, toward the path. I looked at that video several times, and I'm calling foul on this. I'm calling this bullcrap. I know a lot of people who are, very emotional, especially people who's very into, leaving everybody alone, into, just rights, period. This is, who's not into the whole black and white thing. I myself am black, and I'm like, this is, I gotta call BS on this. I gotta call BS on this, just like all the other, shootings. If you really analyze it and ask yourself questions, like, just really look at it. Like, you don't see any blood. The first thing you should see is blood. Now, I was told by a friend of mine that people hemorrhage differently. There's different type, everybody's different, but, I can't help but to think that, Walter Scott was running, and it's, when you run, your heart is pumping, more rapidly. So he was running, and, if he was supposed to hemorrhage, he should have started hemorrhaging, I guess, almost immediately. I didn't see anything that indicated that he was shot. And so I'm looking at other websites and just to see people's comments and their reactions, and everybody's like, this cop should burn in hell kind of reaction. And I'm like, well, how come you guys didn't you don't see there's no blood? Like, did you really look at the video? There's no blood. But I'm just really surprised that everybody's taking this all in. They're really eating this up. I haven't seen one comment where someone was skeptical. Not one. Everybody immediately went flip mode and just wanted to see that cop under the jail, or possibly worse. So it just amazes me. No one uses the critical eye, the critical thinking, and start asking questions. Like, if you see somebody getting shot, you would see the impact shot. You would see them grabbing where they was shot at. You would see blood on the floor. All these things should come to mind, but no one sees that. Everybody just sees a white cop and a black guy unarmed. He's running, and boom, he gets shot. Shot at 8 times, and he falls to the ground. Everybody's in an uproar. No one sees this, and everybody's going to take this and get upset. But I want everybody to know, those people who think this is real, because it's highly improbable that this is real. And if it is real, my deepest condolences and my deepest apologies, But again, I just don't think this is real. Again, if you really look at that video, and then it's the shaky camera, the poor resolution. I mean, everybody has all kinds of phones, but I think these days the resolution is a little bit better than it was in years past, and it was kind of blurry. And if a cop did shoot somebody, they wouldn't want anybody filming them. They would say immediately, "Get out of here," or "Give me your phone," or they probably chase a person down with the phone. All this other stuff. And the witness reaction, he was just late with everything. Like, if you see somebody getting shot, you'll automatically say, "Oh," like, whoa. The guy gets shot 8 times, and about maybe 10, 15 seconds later, he's saying, oh shit, just his reaction was off. You know what I'm saying? This was something you don't see. You don't see this every day. You hear about it, you see it in the newspapers or something like that. Yeah, but it's different when you see it in the flesh, when you see it live. It's totally different. And his reaction to me didn't even add up to what happened. Somebody got shot at 8 times. You're not going to pause and say, oh man, that was crazy. You're not going to do that. So his reaction was fake to me too. And I know some people who may hear this say, okay, why you keep saying it's fake? And that reason is because I would ask you to look up something called Operation Mockingbird, where the CIA paid the mainstream media, news outlets, magazines, and stuff like that, to have a certain narrative to say. They actually have people who write stuff down and or type it up or whatever, and give them to the leading mainstream outlets like Time Magazine and NBC, ABC, and basically telling them what to say. The journalists or news reporters take that, read it, or read on a teleprompter, and they just parrot what the CIA writes. Again, look at Operation Mockingbird, and you see articles on this. A lot of people are in play. So this, to me, knowing that, and it was started in the in the 1950s, and you can look this up yourself. That's why I have to call BS on this. If you think that the mainstream media is really reporting news, there's so many things going on in this world, and we're talking about a white man and black cop, and it's more division, more hatred toward the cops. It's making the cops look bad because it's making them look like they're just trigger happy, men and women ready to pop off at the drop of a dime, and then it gets the black people fearful of the cops, and it shouldn't be. We have wars going on. We have projects and operations destroying our way of life each and every day. With GMOs, with vaccines, with geoengineering. These things are the real, I think we all should be fighting for. And these are the things that MSNBC, CNN, and all these people we need to be reporting about. These are the very serious things that's going on in the world. One of the things, it's so many things going on. And yet the mainstream media points out that, hey, guess what? Another unarmed black man gets shot by a white cop. What are you going to do? And they're just like salivating over the fact, like, man, when are these people going to blow up? When is it going to be riots so we can report on that? And then the martial law clamps down because, we don't know how to act. And I just want to tell people that please have more of a critical eye when you see these things. Because to me, this is outright fake. It's so obvious when you stop to look and you let go of your emotions for a minute and you look at that 3 minute and change video and look at, there's no blood, there's no impact shot, it seems like the cop is not even shooting at him. He's kind of pointing away, and Walter Scott is running, at an angle. So these are the things that I pointed out. These are the things that I saw. Also, when he was talking to the parents, notice that once somebody gets shot, once this incident comes and is reported, you have family and friends immediately on the television. If your family member gets shot, the last thing you're thinking about is going on television and talking about how good he was or how good she was and all this other stuff. That's the last thing you're thinking about. And even if you do show up, you'll be so overcome with grief and anguish that you probably couldn't even talk, And I see, they showing his brother, he shows no sign of grief. He's supposed to be the strong one, but we all been to funerals, and the strong one, you still could see the grief. You don't see this with this guy. And some people say, what are you talking about? I see it all on his face. I don't see it because, again, I know this is one of them CIA operations. This is all about divide and conquer, telling us, no, look to the left when we should be looking to the right, or maybe we should be looking straight ahead. And, they have crisis actors. I know that sounds far-fetched, but nothing is far-fetched to me, I've seen, a lot of videos on these things, and these guys make a point, these people act. They have actresses and actors who train in this, and this guy looks like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He was on CNN. He was trying to find some words to say. And, you know, you got some guy standing next to him. They're like, this one clip, this guy was standing next to him, nudging him. Walter